Well, happy day, everyone. I'm sending all of my hugs, all of the hugs I have. I'm sending them to everyone in chat. All the hugs, all the head pats. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. From the sounds of it, you haven't been doing so great. And I'm sad to hear that. I hope things do get better. Hello, Aster. Hello. Let's go ahead and switch over. Yo, here we are. Hello! Hello, Demi. I did see your little comment of how you're picking your piece. Good. We should all be able to choose our piece over everything else at some point in our lives. I feel like that's really important. Oh my god, this music is actually gonna drive me crazy. Alright. I know it's quiet enough for y'all, so I'm just gonna put it to where I need it to be, which is a lot quieter than what it is. You have questions? I have answers. Hi, nerd. I probably have answers. I am not a know-it-all, but I tend to have answers for some things. What are the questions? And also, while you're getting those in, before we start, get those compliments in. You know the rules. You know the gist. You know how we hang around here. Oh, Emmy. Okay. I love being your mom. Into would you? Emmy. Emmy. I love it every time I get to post, and the first comment I see on that post is you. I love that so much. You were the first person to ever actually watch my stream, so yes, I would be very sad if one day you disappeared. I love being your mom. I love being anyone's mom. I love being mother, and I love comforting people. I love being there for people who need me. That's why I stream. I stream to connect, to create an audience. And I know life's been really hard for you, but you've grown so much since joining this channel. And I never want you to feel like you're never wanted or welcomed here. Because I hope that you will know that this place is always going to be somewhere you can run to when you need a minute to breathe. That goes not just for Emmy, but for everyone who watches my streams, whether you talk and chat or if you just like to lurk in the background. You're always welcomed here. The fuck? No, I'm sorry. I don't know why I timed you out. I'm sorry about that. But yes, Emmy, I love that you're here. All right, give me a minute. I am gonna go back and read those compliments. Hold on, let me change this song. I feel like we need something a little bit more upbeat for how serious shit has gotten. Hold on. Let's get that one on. There we go. That's playing now. Give me a minute. I am gonna read those compliments. Give me a minute. When people don't lie to me ever, don't let people lie to me ever again. Block my friends out because I'm just bothered. 3, I will reunite with my dog soon. Hey, yo, let's go, Demi. That's awesome. Good for you. Oh, no, it's okay. Thank you. Love you too, guys. I love you too. I'm very proud of how far you've come. That goes for everyone, because I've seen, whether you've meant it or not, a lot of growth from all of you. And I truly mean it. Like, I'm genuinely so proud of this community. I'm gonna be mushy for a second here. I'm genuinely so proud of this community. Like, yes, we're small in numbers. Yes, there's very few of us that actually show to a lot of the stuff I do. But, like, y'all are so warm and kind and welcoming of each other and of others. There's so many things that I wish I had growing up, and I get to watch the community I wish I had as a kid form around me in the chat rooms And I see you, though I don't go into Discord calls, I do see y'all connecting on Discord in Mary and Sen's servers. And that fills me with so much warmth, and it makes me so happy to know that, like, y'all are really just out there and you're living your lives and you're doing, like, you're taking every day with a stride and you're there for each other. Like, I'm genuinely so happy to see that that is the kind of community that I'm fostering, because it's the kind of community I've always wanted. So it makes me really happy when I see y'all out there and smiling and taking every day with pride and just trying your best. It makes me so genuinely happy to know that that's the community that I have with me. But yeah, I wanted to be mushy there for a second. All right, let's see. Aster, I got to visit a friend of mine who helped me through a lot when we had such good times. Nice. I've been able to get back into my hobbies again instead of sulking in bed. Yay! I'm going to be okay someday. Aww. Oh, that's amazing, Aster. I'm so proud of everyone today. Oh. Well, I hope that you don't disappear for long, Emmy. And even if you need to take a minute to retreat, grab your bearings, and figure out exactly what you need for yourself, know that this place will always be here for you when you get back. I'll always be here when you get back. Anyways, why don't we go ahead and hop into some Seduce Me? We are on the final chapter of Damien's route. And your girl is also a little tired today. So it's gonna be, we finish this and then your girl's going to bed. Because I need bed. I need bed. I mean, I genuinely hope you do get some help, okay? Like, please seek help. Please. All right, let's go ahead and hop into the game. Oh, hello. Ah, yes, that would be why. All right. Play some Seduce Me. Let's just cheer ourselves up and play some Seduce Me. No, Emmy, everyone needs to have a moment to themselves. It happens, even to the best of us. There, Emmy. Sit back, relax, and let's have some fun. Let's finish up Damien's rat. I begun to make my way back to my room, but stopped as I heard the sound of whispered voices sneak out through a barely open door.
So, we're all in agreement?
It'd be great if I could hear the game. Y'all, can y'all hear the game? Could y'all hear that? Could y'all hear that? Because I couldn't. Why is that? Oh. No, that's on. Oh, no, it's not. I'm a dumbass. I'm a dumbass. Never mind. Don't mind me. I'm a dumbass. I forgot I muted it in my headphones, so I couldn't have to hear the music from OBS. I'm a dumbass. My bad.
We have to. We don't have any choice anymore.
Alright. There, now I can hear it. Thank fucking God.
It will be for the better, I'm sure.
Indeed.
I peeked into the room to see the interior of the library where the 4 rebel leaders stood in a circle. Sergeant leaned against the fireplace mantel while Rabbit and Shadow sat in the 2 empty chairs. Faye, however, floated to and fro from side to side in anxiousness. What were they talking about? I was so engrossed in figuring out what was happening in the room that I didn't notice a figure coming up behind me and pushing me into the room. Gah!
Sir, I found your student eavesdropping.
I'm not surprised.
I hope that's not the case, Emmy. I hope you don't. Take every day in stride, okay? I grimaced, now out in the open. The four stared at me with cold eyes as they were ready to send me back to the human world as a corpse rather than going through the siege. I looked up at all of them as I slowly rose to my feet, eyeing each leader as I considered running for the door. However, they each looked to each other in contemplation.
Say, you didn't hear anything, did you?
No, I swear.
What was the last thing you heard?
Something about having no choice. I suddenly felt the guards of each leader behind me readying their weapons. What the hell? Were they seriously going to kill me for walking by and eavesdropping?
Whoa! Hold on, guys!
I felt the guards back away from me slowly, most likely still cautious of me. I let out a small sigh, happy that I wasn't going to die, at least not immediately. Rabbit, however, looked to me with an ear twitching with curiosity.
Let us ask first. Do you know what has been truly happening with Diana?
I looked to Rabbit, knowing what she meant. Diana has been acting oddly, and it was not boding well. The more I saw her, I could tell that something was seriously weighing her down or influencing her words. Yeah, but what does that have to do with this meeting? As I answered, the other demons looked once again at each other before Shadow stepped forward nonchalantly.
Let's not play the ignorance game. We're going to assassinate the succubus when the war is over.
I'm sorry? What?
Oh, what the fuck?
Way to just blurt it out!
There's no use in hiding it. We don't know how much she has heard.
I became massively confused. Why were they going to kill her? How were they even going to do it? Why? What good would come of killing her? Rabbit stood and walked to the fireplace, staring into the open flames. I could tell I was about to get an answer, so I listened intently, wanting to know why they were planning Diana's murder.
Diana, we fear, has become corrupted.
Corrupted? What do you mean?
Meaning she's going batshit crazy like the Demon Lord!
I furrowed my eyebrows. That couldn't be. She seemed mostly fine, save for a few instances here and there. Oh, something doesn't make sense in my brain. Sergeant, reading my face, pushed himself off the mantle and stood up straight, reminding me of his power with his stance.
Human, you hate the Demon Lord as much as we do, correct?
I glared at Sergeant's stupid question. Of course I hated him. He had trapped me here and forced me and the ones I loved to join this war. There was no reason to even remotely like him. At my glare, Faye swooped in between me and Sergeant, waving their arms frantically.
Listen, we're not trying to make you mad, but, well...
This is ridiculous.
Shadow stood from his seat, now clearly irritated, and stepped towards me.
The succubus has gone mad, and if we don't end her life before she takes the throne, then she will become as mad as the Demon Lord. There is no saving her. Understand?
Oh, come on, Shadow! Seriously?
No, this is beyond unnecessary. All three of you are complicating the matter when all that needs to be stated is the truth.
But how can that be? How is Diana mad like the Demon Lord? None of this made sense. Diana seemed mostly right in her head. However, she was strong enough to lead an army and help me survive until now. She even aided in the incubi. These weren't the actions of a mad woman. Shadow rolled his eyes and went back to his seat as Faye put their hands behind their back, swaying a bit in the air.
Well, here's the thing. Here in the demon world, emotions and stuff can be uber powerful. things like extreme grief or euphoria can even become energies on their own, while other feelings become, well, they can become very, very bad things.
Like madness?
Yeah, madness is more than just a head-mind thingy. Here in this world, it's like a leech or a virus. When a demon catches it, madness just grows and grows until it consumes them, like it did with the Demon Lord.
Taking the new information in, I looked to the floor, thinking of the Demon Lord and how psychotic he was said to have become. He waged wars and apparently enjoyed burning down kingdoms and slaughtering the innocent. You are a very good daughter, and I'm very proud of you, Emmy. If that was how far madness would take a demon, then I feared for anyone who was capable of falling into that.
You can become mad in multiple ways. By being born mad or being infected by it. Diana has fought the Demon Lord head on multiple times during the past 10 years. It was inevitable that she would catch the affliction.
You can catch madness. How is that possible?
We don't know, but this wouldn't be the first time someone who used to be sane went mad because they were around another crazy demon.
There was an unease in the room. Something told me that none of them believed that was the true cause. There's more, isn't there?
Huh?
I became bold. If Diana had to die, then there had to be a solid reason, and the madness excuse wasn't enough. Why were they planning it if none of them truly believed it? It's not just because she's mad, is it? Something else is wrong. The rebel leaders became silent, letting the tension lay in the air in plain view and giving me my answer. I was right. There was more to the story.
Who are you to question our reasons?
Shadow stepped up to me and leaned close to my face. As I stared into his black eyes, I could feel the world around me grow darker. He was truly a scary being, and his cold tone made me that much more afraid of him.
You're a human. You have no say in what we do here in this world.
But
We are not asking for your permission.
my anger suddenly exploded. I was pulled into the room and being treated like dirt. I didn't appreciate it one bit. So I straightened up and got into Shadow's face. I'm not asking for yours either. I just want to know. Shadow and I continued to glare at each other before Shadow scoffed and turned away, crossing his arms. Great observation, Demi. Damn. Well, I'm glad someone's enjoying themselves. Rabbit shook her head, tapping her staff on the ground.
Regardless, we can't have you remembering the conversation we had here if we are set on stopping her.
I took a step back, now afraid. Were they really going to kill me? They sensed my fear and waved their hands wildly.
Whoa! Hey, hold on! We're not gonna hurt you or anything!
Thank you.
That was somewhat of a relief. But what were they going to do? As I took a breath, Shadow spoke up, catching my attention.
I'm curious, human. Do you believe in the succubus?
What? The other rebel leaders looked to Shadow as he placed a hand on his chin in thought and peered into my eyes.
Who do you believe should rule this world?
Right.
The succubus? Or one of us?
Yeah. Well, we found Demi's favorite. And suddenly, I became the focal point of the entire war's resolution. Why was my opinion important? I looked to the floor, trying to mull over his question and come up with an answer. Diana had saved my life and was doing everything to make sure I would go back to the human world as safely as possible. Still, how she was behaving, something was indeed seriously off with her. Was she really ready to take the throne? The 4 rebel demons before me, however, were all smart and balanced each other out in some shape and form. I could tell that they could all bring peace to the world in some way, but did Diana really have to be eliminated for that to happen? And that's not just I love the woman next to him. Oh, Rabbit. Oh, jeez. I feel like I was standing on a that's a big one for Elmo. Yes, yes, maybe. Demi! No! Bad, Demi! Do I need to get a spray bottle? Oh my lord. It's fine. I know if I sided with Diana, then she would eventually be eliminated by these 4 unless she found out beforehand. I could warn her, but what if those demons erased my memories or threatened my life? I was balancing on the edge of a knife and had to pick a direction to fall. I closed my eyes and answered Shadow's question. So what do y'all want to do? This choice actually doesn't affect the story. It doesn't affect the story. This just decides if we kill Diana. Do we want to kill Diana? I will note that if we do choose to kill her, we can change our mind later down the road. Just so y'all are aware. We can change our mind later down the road. There will be an option to not kill her. But I'm gonna leave this up to chat. Does chat want to just immediately believe in Diana? Or do we want to kind of play our cards right? Diana is not here. With the yellow wings. No, not that's okay. So here, Sergeant, Shadow, Rabbit, Faye. Diana's not here. We want Diana. Believe in women. We want Diana. Lesbians. We we want to believe in Diana. Is that the choice we are making? I'm fine either way. I usually pick this. Lesbian clock it. Got it! Lesbianism! Diana had done so much for me. So much for us. For me. There was no way I could betray her. The 4 in the room stared at me, taking in my reply. Your daughter is a lesbian. What do you expect?
What does a human know?
Well, we did ask.
You did.
Enough. We need to continue this another time.
Rabbit lowered her staff and pointed the tip at me, causing me to step back in fear.
Et ex memoria de hot loco mentem.
All at once, I felt my head completely fill with white noise, causing me to grip my head and fall to my knees in pain. Yeah! I shut my eyes and felt the world spin around me before I relaxed as silence overtook my senses. My body floated a bit in the empty void before softly landing on a surface, causing me to open my eyes and look around. Huh? What happened? I was in the hallway on the floor. How did I get there? I was on my way to my room. And thus we have forgotten all of their plans. Weird. I stood up, brushed myself off, and looked around, hoping that no one saw me snoozing on the floor. When I noted that the coast was clear, I continued on my way to my room. I must have been more tired than I thought. I finally returned to our room and flopped onto the bed, letting the events of my time in the abyssal plains replay in my mind. I was trapped here, and soon enough I was about to go marching into battle against the Demon Lord for my freedom. The more I thought about it, the more surreal the feeling became. I was going to be in a room, meeting a powerful adversary face to face, and set myself free of the curse he brought down upon me. Hi, Grass! As Damien entered the room at last, I smiled and stood, walking over and wrapping my arms around him as he returned my embrace.
Tonight is our last night here.
Oh, I missed this! I missed this! Yeah. We held each other, locked in silence and unable to say anything more. We had been in a heavy predicament, and we worked through it. It was something we did together. All we could do in the moment was hold each other and listen to our synchronized heartbeats. I was about to read that as something completely different. Don't question it. As thoughts of tomorrow danced in my mind, I began to fear it even more. Was I ready to go into battle? Was Damien? Were any of us, for that matter? We were about to walk into the final battle of a world war. Yes, it is. That is Jonas Scott, baby. My ride or die. The man who has stolen my heart and has put it in a jar and has kept it as a fucking trophy. He owns my freaking heart. Would we survive? Would I live to see Damien afterward and feel his embrace again? Tomorrow brought too many questions to think about, and I became frustrated and scared. Chat. There's no wrong answer. Doesn't affect the ending. What would y'all like to do? Would you like, smut? Or would you like nothing? I will give a fair warning to those of you who are concerned that this is an R18 game. The content of reading it, it's nothing bad. It's not very descriptive and you don't see shit. Okay, because we love Michaela Laws. He put your heart in a jar jar, smut. Okay, Demi wants smut, so I guess we'll go smut. Oh, I'm gonna get in trouble. I needed to hold him. I needed to hold him and treat the night like it was the last night of the world. Tomorrow was unpredictable, but tonight was guaranteed. I wrapped my arms tightly around Damien, burying my hands in his orange hair as he slowly encircled his arms around my waist. Damien pulled me close, knowing exactly what I wanted to do. Shut up! Leave me alone. Damien slowly stepped us back towards the bed and fell forwards onto it, pinning me down to the mattress with his body. As he claimed my lips with his own, I combed my fingers through his hair lovingly. Each touch of his fingers embedded themselves into my memory as I took in his scent, his warmth, his kisses over my skin. I barely felt him slowly ease my legs apart and kneel between them as he danced his tongue against mine. A part of me, however, felt a little bit bold. I wrapped my arms and legs around Damien before rolling us over to where Fuck! I'm sorry! I can't read that seriously. I'm sorry. Oh my god. I can't read that seriously. I'm sorry. I tried. I really did try. Oh, because listen, I'm not getting paid for this. It's fine. Rolling us over, I straddled his hips, surprising him. As he looked up at me in shock, I smirked down at him lovingly. You've worked so hard, Damien. Let me reward you. I hate oh my god, what the fuck just came out of my mouth? Bro, I planned this stream to be like an hour. This might take 2. Oh my god! I'm losing it. Damien gulped slightly, taking in this new turn of events before I leaned in and kissed him ever so sweetly, brushing my hands over his chest and feeling his skin beneath my fingers. As he quaked beneath me, I felt a rush of pride run through me. I liked this a bit. I would explore it further, undressing us as slowly as possible. Nope. No. No. I'm not reading that. We're moving on. We're moving on. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. His hands, not bound anywhere, caressed over my skin, available to him as his eyes became lost in my form. While a mild form of shyness rushed through me, I had to run through with the mood. I wouldn't let myself get out of the swing of heat between us, even as his hands rubbed against every weak spot I had. I'm weak, chat. I'm really weak. I'm losing it. Okay. As it became unbearable to deny ourselves our carnal needs any longer, we ravished each other and finally made love, gripping to each other and letting our moans become lost in each other's mouths and shoulders. Damien's hands combed over my back as I dragged my fingers along his chest, seeing the red welt of my dragging slightly form over his skin. It was erotic to see, but as Damien's hands locked themselves into my hips and began to guide our rhythm, I became lost in the pleasure within me instead. I'm losing it. You are weak specific. Yes! Oh god, no. If this is James, I'd be reading this in monotone, hating everything. This is fucking stupid, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, you're so right. I'm losing it because it's Damien. Oh gosh, no. We're not doing a single smutty scene with James. Fuck that. Fuck that. I think I'll do the ones for CGs and then the rest we're skipping. We're skipping the rest that don't give me CGs. Fuck that. Fuck that shit. The bed creaking only became louder and faster and rougher. We were uncaring of who was around us or who would hear us. We were dancing through euphoria together, and we weren't going to be stopped. It was a perfect ecstasy from beginning to end. When Damien wrapped his arms around me and held me close, both of us quaking in our embrace. I could only stare into Damien's gorgeous purple and blue eyes, becoming lost in them as exhaustion began to crawl through me. It's not prawn. It's not. It's smut. It's fine. It's not that descriptive. It's not. It's Twitch safe. I think. Fuck it. Who cares? Listen, if this gets me fucking banned on Twitch, that would be so unfair because a woman fucking gave birth on Twitch. Live on Twitch, I might add. Gave freaking birth. If this gets me in trouble, I will be pissed. I didn't say anything. I said nothing. I skipped over it. A woman gave fucking birth on... You can't. It's not that... Shush. Listen, if y'all keep giving me shit, we won't do any smutty scenes from Seduce Me anymore. I will cancel them. I will cancel it. Try me. I love you. I love you, Damien. forever.
I love you too. My life is yours.
Birth is a beautiful and natural part of life. Nothing dirty or wrong about it. So is the creation of the Venus. I can't win. Exactly. We both pass out in each other's arms, lost in our bliss. The world didn't matter until the morning, but even then we knew we'd be all right. Tomorrow would decide everything. The day of the siege had finally dawned. We had arrived at the Demon Lord's castle, and we were as ready as we could be. Many armies bearing different banners and colors washed over the ground before the castle, ready to rush in and lay waste to the Demon Lord and the remainder of his forces. What do you mean Mary's getting drunk? What do you mean? Also, Prophet Chat's giving me shit for reading smut scenes when they weren't even that bad. Where was I? All of us shared a common enemy, and, upon his demise, would finally know some form of peace. Even during the roll call of the major generals, the air became full of determination and pride. She's getting... Oh, God. They were even close to bad. Thank you! Thank you! They weren't that bad! I've read worse. I've read the demonic cultivation. Basically, author fanfic shit. Like, I read that. I read that before surgery. I read that before surgery. Mary, are you behaving? I'm almost done stream, okay? Behave. Oh, I've read worse. Snitch. No, she's not. Oh, God. Yeah. I love Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. It's great. If I ever do a Patreon, I'll read it. If I ever make a Patreon, I'll make that a tiered thing. I'll fucking read it. I'll read it. I love that shit. He's yelling at me for telling you now. Mary, maybe then don't get drunk. Okay, I'm trying to read.
Avarice! Nadia! Fiorna! Aradum!
Each name called became a mark on history. This was the first war to bring freedom or destruction to the demon world. If the rebellion didn't win this fight, then this war would never end. If the rebellion won, then the world would become united in a hopefully peaceful rule. But is there hardly... What? Hi, Mary's getting drunk, dear God. Next, the forks will be found in the kitchen. Mary, I love you. I will see you soon, my love, okay? Mwah, I miss you. Before the hour before the battle was set to take place, my thoughts instantly ran back to our final meeting with in Lilith Castle. Diana had pulled the leaders and us together, instructing us on how exactly to proceed.
Sato, you will be joining Shadow and Sergeant in the front, taking care of the main army head-on. I expect that you will come out of it alive.
Oh, Mary, did you get the new Date with Death makeshift merch? I just bought mine a few minutes, like an hour or two ago. I'm very excited. With your drinking. Mary, 3 shots is already, I'm drunk. To be fair, I'm a lightweight though. How long is so long, Mary? 2 days? 2 broke? I like that answer. Mary also hasn't eaten. Mary, don't be me. Don't pull a me. Why is with my friends and just bringing arguments into my chats? What is with this? Why is this the habit?
Yes, my lady.
I ate me.
Rabbit, Faye, you are in charge of range attacks and defense. We cannot allow any of those blasted imps getting to us from behind.
After a start. Speaking of drinking, oh god. Clock it, Mary. You diva. Of course you ate. Oh my. What a stream devolved into. Oh my god. What is happening? I can't. Y'all kill me. Y'all slay me.
Yes, ma'am.
As Diana looked to me, I grew slightly fearful. I had to get into the Demon Lord's castle, but how exactly did Diana plan on getting me there?
You and your fiancé will take the side route straight to the castle.
I love you too, Mom. Huh? Wait, huh?
We've organized our army to have our strongest on the front lines and against the tree line, giving us a side route for you to make your way straight to the castle.
Emmy, please just have a snack, at the very least, like a granola bar or an apple. Something. Please just put something in your stomach. People come to your chat to argue is like anime characters moving a fight somewhere empty. Wow! Is that what you think of my channel? Wow, might as well just fucking end stream here. I feel so loved. Thanks, chat. Okay. Damn. Just no dinner. Okay, at least you ate something. Good, Emmy. At least you ate something. Wow. Rude. Fucking rude, grass.
If anything trickles into the side route, you'll be able to handle it. However, there is something I must ask of you.
Oh, by the way, streaming schedule will be up after stream. Keep your eyes out for that, because it's gonna be up today. What is it?
If you are indeed attacked, you need to defend your fiancé the entire way there. Do not let him use his energy.
Yes, the schedule!
What? Are you insane?
When you get to the castle, I will be fighting one-on-one with the Demon Lord. If something should happen to me, then I need you to take over. She is not ready to fight him, and you need to be at full strength to finish him off.
Alright, have fun. See you in a bit. Okay, Prophet, bye-bye!
The humans should be able to handle a few imps.
I stared, listening and reaffirming the orders. I couldn't lie, I was nervous. However, I was determined enough to see this through. I looked over at my fiancé with a confident smile. I got this. Don't worry. Despite the worry in his eyes, he nodded and held my hand, trusting me and my decision to agree with Diana's command. Diana rolled her shoulders and looked at the map draped over the wall, over the war table between us all. Ah, yes, the war table! Ah, yes! The war table! Contrary to the dinner table, or the kitchen table, or the bedroom table, or my vicarious item table. Why am I so petty right now? Oh my God. I don't know why I'm petty right now. Her gaze pierced into the parchment as the aura around her body pulsated in anger. You know, the war table is a real thing, right, Mom? Is it actually? Hold on. It is a war table. Oh, shit! So it is! Is it a D&D thing? Taking your anger out of the poor innocent war table. It's a D&D thing, right? Because that would be why I don't know it, because I've never actually played a proper game of D&D. Huh. Fascinating. You learn something new every day, kids. They use that shit to plan strategy and shit in wars. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I wouldn't know. Shows you how much I've been in wars. I say that as a not a season general. You have battle maps and okay. Diana rolled her shoulders and looked at the map. I already read that.
I will fly ahead and meet the Demon Lord head on. No matter what happens, I will not allow that monster to live.
The pure determination and anger in her voice practically sent shivers down my spine. She was set on seeing this through to the end, and I was sure that she was willing to die if it meant taking the Demon Lord with her. You were at the start of several wars? Flop. No, I didn't start several wars. I finished several wars, okay? Get it right, nerd. I ended several wars. Get it right. We need to get Kita into more wars. I fight wars! I just finish them. I don't start them. I finish wars. Don't start them. I come in at the end when everyone's like, we just want this to be over, and I kill everybody, and then I walk away, covered in blood like Carrie. Moving on. The remaining incubi and their wives were asked to stay behind the army and guard the main base, where Rabbit and Faye were stationed. They needed as many eyes as possible in the back of the battle, so the 4 couples were perfect to keep things in check. Come in at the end to kill everyone. Didn't know you were married. No, I'm Canadian. We throw cans of food and then throw grenades. That's what we do. Yay! We play smarter, not harder. Come now, we're the reason the Geneva Convention exists. Come now, get on our level. We're the reason the Geneva Convention exists. Welcome to Canada, eh? It comes into a war when everyone is injured and helpless. That's why I'm a war criminal. Listen, if Canada knows anything, it's tack the weak and defenseless. But only if they piss you off, because we're fucking petty. You guys, war crimes and geese. Yeah, we do war crimes and geese. We got a lot of geese. Mention more like Geneva Exactly. It's the Geneva suggestion. It's a suggestion of what not to do, but doesn't mean Canada won't do it again. Let alone add something else to that list from our idiotic means of playing smarter, not harder. Too many. Kill them all. As they agreed, the meeting ended and the mental preparation had begun. The idea of the upcoming battle scared me, sending waves of fear and worry up and down my body in response to the thought.
So, this is our last day in the demon world.
Oh,
Hugs. Other hugs, Demi.
yeah. Yeah, it is. Damien and I stood at the map outline of the dark castle that was once his unwanted home. Damien's hand slowly eased into mine as he spoke again.
I will protect you no matter what. I promise.
The convention, what do you cosplay at the convention? A prisoner of war? Oh god, Grass, that's so dark! Then come here and let me hug you, Demi. Oh! Go from content creator voice talking about war crimes and used just. Listen, that's what's called peak voice acting and acting in general. When you're just able to go into like just a mode in a scene. It's like, hello, here we are to tell a story. For all of you watching today, I shall tell a story. And then I go from like, fuck it, we ball. Where are my geese at? I listened to him speak before nodding, taking in a deep breath. Everything would be okay. We would be fine. I had to believe in myself and get us to the castle when the time was right. Like a beacon, our forces became the banner of hope and strength for the rebellion. At the sight of Diana, many soldiers bowed or stared in awe and inspiration. Maybe it was her presence, or maybe it was what she stood for. But as Diana stood at the cliffside of the mountain, the air became full of energy and power. My fiancé, Rabbit, Faye, and I stood behind her as Diana stood on the ledge of the cliffside, addressing the rebellion for her final battle. Her voice echoed across the field, booming and reverberating through the air like thunder.
Milites! Et hoc liberati sturei tramcun tuis omnibus conversiris. Sto vobiscum reducitic vos ad spem. Nocte, lavabir mur, arcem, hostium sanguine.
I like how in both of those instances, Grass, I can't read. Thanks so much. Good to know that in both of those situations, motherfucker bitch can't read. This bitch can't read. Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh. What is she saying?
She said that the castle will be bathed in blood, and she will lead everyone to freedom.
That part's a bit much. That first part's a bit much.
It's just to spur the troops for war. I'm sure she didn't mean it literally.
I begged it of her. The blood of angels, the angels who died fighting. I nodded as I stared at the back of Diana's head. A part of me felt a little intimidated and jealous of the power she had. She really could make armies bow to her and obey her every whim. At the same time, I knew that she was doing the right thing for this world.
Ele Dio dominati sunt nostri. Nos destruet, eum mitere, profundissimum, inferni detractos.
I think I'm biased. I like the original English dub theme song for Yu-Gi-Oh! I just grew up on it, so I prefer it. That and the Yu-Gi-Oh! Rap battle, which I can recite from memory. A pair of guards rushed forward, carrying a flailing imp demon who was caught in chains and forcibly slammed him down in front of Diana. She glared down at him and gripped one of his horns, pulling him to his knees.
You should be thankful we didn't throw you into a stew like we did your partner.
Ew. Oh. Gross. Oh, shit. English. That's a new word. I trademarked it. English. With that whisper, Diana dragged her nails across the imp's neck, slicing 5 large gashes into his throat, making him garble out of pain, bubbly cry. Him garble out a painful, bubbly cry. Fair enough. Diana, however, holding his head up, forcing on the blood poured from him, and guiding the enemy that enamored. These are big words for Elmo. From it towards the castle. With a flash, a large purple and red orb barrier that surrounded the castle shattered, fading into the air. The barrier that held the Demon Lord at bay was finally open, allowing us to charge in and end this once and for all. Diana summoned her saber, letting it shine brilliantly as the purple taint over her skin began to twist and turn. Before my eyes, the taint on her back took shape, lifting off of Diana's skin and morphed into a set of demonic wings. I could only stare, jaw-dropped, as Diana's body lifted off the ground and began to fly over the legions, slowly gliding towards the castle.
To war! To battle!
Emanated. Oh! I'm dumb! You need to... I do genuine. That's why normally I bring Prophet for Seduce Me streams. Because Prophet can read. I cannot. Prophet's very good at reading. At her final command, Diana's wings pulsated in the air, flapping gracefully as she swooped down and forward. She was charging and flying for the castle walls, saber bared and ready to spill blood. As the armies below began to bellow and march forward, Rabbit took hold of my shoulder and turned me away from the castle to face her.
Come, we must hurry.
Understanding the need for urgency, I nodded and rushed forward with the rest of the incubi towards the slope down the mountainside.
Everything is in order. Sergeant Diana's guard are at the front lines, while Shadow is with his legion to the west.
What about our route to the castle?
We've done what we can to keep your way clear. We'll try to make sure the battle won't break through the path.
Oi, I was my English teacher's favorite. I did all of my work. I was silly, I was funny, and though I could not read, I was very smart. So excuse you. Though they probably would sit around the campfire and tell their favorite mishaps of words I've said or shit I said in class spitfiring, because I had no idea what I was talking about. Although, I will say, I got a 90 on a project for a book I never read. Never read that book. Got a 90 and was able to quote pages from said book. I am my English teacher's worst fucking nightmare because I have a very good memory. I have a terrifying memory. I remember shit you wish you couldn't remember. That's my favorite part. I nodded, feeling sorry. I liked the switch. Sorry. I nodded, feeling the need to rush nip at my heels, pushing me forward. My fiancé seemed to agree, gripping my hand and walking at my pace alongside me. However, as we finally arrived at the forest line, Faye and Rabbit stopped, looking back at us.
Straight through here. The sound of the war will always be on your right, so do not get lost.
You'll be fine, though. Just follow the tree line.
In sync, my fiancé and I nodded in acknowledgement before turning to the other brothers and their wives. So, this is it.
Remember your surroundings and protect each other.
Yo, listen, I was taught very young how to play Uno, and I have demolished people in it. None of which were in my friend group, but that's another story. If we were playing IRL, I'd be better. I'm gonna read my story. Don't worry. I get that. I was like that too. I hate public speaking. But you have a good... Then, what did you say when you adopted me those months ago? You adopted me? I'll be a... Oh, God. I probably just said I'll be a mom. I could be your mom. You're my daughter now. We're having soft tacos later. I honestly... That I don't remember. I remember very obscure, weird things.
Be careful.
That's not one, right? Sorry.
Make sure you stay safe.
Emmy. Bonk.
Princess, brother, we'll see you in the end.
We have faith in you. You'll make it there, and we'll return to the human world soon.
Am I getting another kid? I'm not paying attention. No!
Kick his dead body a couple times for me, alright? Right in the head.
Oh, I love you, Sam. Sam, I love you. But also fuck you for being voiced by fucking Alejandro Saab.
We'll be right here rooting for you and watching your back, okay?
Oh, did I? Damn, screw your parents. Yeah, that does sound like me. Let that be your yearbook quote. Let that be somebody's yearbook quote. Yo, if anyone quotes the shit I say and makes it their yearbook quote, please send me that, because I would love to see that. I would love to see that. Yo, the day I know I've made it is the day I'm in a yearbook quote. It will be mine one day. Yes.
We'll finish this and rush in as soon as we can, alright?
Make sure you kick some serious ass.
Yes,
Show that
ma'am.
old goat what he gets for messing with you.
Hell yeah. I smiled, despite the nerves running through my body. I held onto my fiancé's hand and gave it a hard squeeze before receiving one back in kind. We'll finish this, then we'll go home. The group nodded before I slowly turned and looked into the tree line, took a breath, and rushed forward. Matching my speed, my love followed, weaving through the trees behind me to not lose sight of me. Oh God, I'm terrified to see what people come up with. We need to, if I ever make a Discord server, I'm going to make just a place where everyone could put like fucking shit posts that I've said. Just stuff taken way out of context with like the stream linked. I just need to find the worst. Yep, that's what it, yep, there it is. There it is. The journey was surprisingly uninterrupted. The sound of war clashed beside us, causing me to cover my ears for a bit from the volume. But I shook my head and pressed forward, not wanting to become distracted. The goal was to get to the castle. I had to focus. Before I could, however, I was pulled back by my fiancé, barely missing an arrow flying past my nose. Whoa! I quickly turned my head and spotted a small group of imps creeping towards me, one reloading his bow with another arrow. I quickly grabbed my incubus and focused on matching us, and focused on making us become one with the shadows of the tree we were under. As the dark consumed our bodies, I felt my energy pulse from the amount being used. Still, I successfully dragged us both into the shadow plane. That's good. Will I see the next? Oh, did it show up? Okay, good. It's out. Good.
The shadow plane.
And now y'all know why I picked Damien for Shadow for Damien. Damien's half Shadow Demon. I looked back at him and smiled with a nod, knowing he was completely unaware of what I had learned in my training. No, I'm pretty sure he knows now. Pretty sure he knows. What are we gonna be? Are we? I don't know. We might. My brother did work on my stuff. So we have a good team ready to go. He was not happy with me, I will say, though. After all, he had been focusing on improving himself. I lowered my head to his and grasped it. Rushing forward, I lowered my hand to his and grasped it, rushing forward and pulling him along. He managed to trip a bit before following along, keeping my pace. Sorry, Damien. Even as some hideaway scouts and trickling soldiers came in our path, we simply ran through them unseen. It took the man behind me a bit to take it in, but he quickly adjusted, knowing now wasn't the time to focus on that. I, however, felt my energy quickly drain. I was maintaining 2 people in the shadow plane, after all. It only made sense that it used more energy. Still, I wanted to get as far as I could before returning to the real world. Demi, go to bed! Go to bed! Go to bed! I gripped onto my incubus's hand hard as I began to wane. Slow down, Kayak. Slowing my run and feeling slowing my run and feeling a heavy wave of dizziness consume my mind. Soon enough, warmth returned to my body, and we were both sent back to the corporal demon world. Of course, it couldn't have been a perfect straight journey without a couple of final guards at the edge of the tree line waiting for us. A band of remaining imps caught my eye, taking in that I had successfully maneuvered around their lines and had reached them. I grimaced and glared at the imps, seeing the group of 3 rush at us despite the weak feeling in my knees. However, I had one last trick up my sleeve. I focused on my shadow, commanding it to come forth and defend me. My incubus and the imps gasped as a dark, shadowy figure of me sprouted from the ground and formed a large sword in her hand. I glared at the imps and pointed at them, feeling my energy quickly drain once again. Get them. On my command, my shadow rushed forward and began to slice through the imps, effectively disconnecting their limbs from their bodies and cutting them open. Have a good day, Grass. Jesus fuck, hello. Oh my god, that scared me! Each tried to block, but only managed to have their attacks phase through my shadow like mist. They couldn't touch me, but I could kill them. I smirked as my shadow quickly zipped between them in figure eights, ripping each of them apart before letting them fall to the ground, bleeding out and wailing in pain. That was all I could do before my energy finally forced my shadow back into the ground, a wave of exhaustion rolling through my body. I began to fall forward, exhausted. My fiancé, however, quickly rushed forward and caught me in his arms.
Whoa! I got you. Are you okay?
Huh? I looked up to see Damien staring down at me with worry and panic in his expression. We were safe for the moment, so I merely smiled at him with a nod. I'm fine. I promised to protect you, like you protect me. Damien softly smiled and hugged me to him, pressing his head into my shoulder.
I love you so much.
I hugged him back, feeling relief that we had finally arrived at the castle, and were about to rush inside. As we slowly pulled away, Damien lifted me up and helped me to my feet.
Will you be okay?
Yeah, this is one of the songs I have in the playlist. I nodded, shaking off the exhaustion from my mind. I was ready to end this. I looked up at the castle gates and felt a rush of determination run through me. Let's go finish this. With that, Damien and I rushed forward into the castle. The final battle had begun. The castle halls were grim and dark, sending shivers through me and Damien as I ran through them towards the sound of battle. All across the ground were bodies of slaughtered imps and soldiers, most likely dead by Diana's hand. As we finally arrived in the throne room, Damien held out his arm to stop me and protect me from the battle waging within. Diana and the Demon Lord were in some sort of energy deadlock, with a blot of red energy streaming out of the Demon Lord's hand and colliding with a purple flame that came from Diana's. You're filled with determination! The two energies pressed against one another, unrelenting in their violent crash as each stream of energy tried to obtain dominance over the other. The Demon Lord and Diana were equally matched.
Hi!
Give up, succubus! This world will bow to me!
Over my dead body!
That can be arranged!
A burst of red energy pulsed around the Demon Lord's body, intensifying his blot of lightning in the deadlock and forcing Diana to step back from the sheer force of it. Despite this, Diana pressed back, regaining her momentum and her ground. Damien and I remained still and quiet, watching the bout. Damien was meant to be backup in case something happened to Diana, and thankfully, she didn't necessarily need help for now, or at least it didn't look like it. Maybe Damien wouldn't have to step in after all. Diana shut her eyes and seemed to focus her energy. Large black and purple flames slowly crawling around her body in a threatening aura as her power behind her energy stream increased and began to push back hard against the Demon Lord. Hiding in your, I don't remember the words, hiding in your Wi-Fi. As Diana opened her eyes, I gasped as they revealed themselves to be completely covered in gold. For a moment, the Demon Lord seemed to struggle maintaining his place, stepping back and to try and remain upright at the hard push Diana was throwing his way. However, as he turned his body, the Demon Lord spotted me and Damien at the entrance of the hall, and a smirk grew on his face.
Ah, uninvited guests.
An interesting novel. It is a very good novel, but I will remind people this is a mature novel, quote unquote. It's nothing bad. Like, Twitch is fine with it. Twitch has never had a problem with Seduce Me, but keep that in mind. It's heavy romance. I recommend it if you're interested into kind of heavy romance. If it's not your thing, I don't recommend. But you can choose to not engage in any of the heavy romance and still get all of the good endings. I will note that as well. You don't have to deal with heavy romance in order to enjoy Seduce Me. It's just a part of it. Also, chat like smut. Diana suddenly turned her head our way, surprised at the acknowledgement, which caused her momentum to falter a bit. Taking the chance, the Demon Lord released another pulse of energy at Diana, forcing her to bend back a bit and stumble on her feet. She's hiding in your Wi-Fi. Diana's eyes returned to normal as she raised her other hand to assist in the stream of energy from her end of the deadlock, attempting to push forward again and regain her place. Demon Lord, however, laughed.
It's useless!
Say I do not hate. I haven't been on AO3. Miku is in your walls. Oh god. With a final push, the Demon Lord let out an angry snarl and forced his energy forward, causing Diana to slam back against the far pillar and lose concentration in her attack. Smirking evilly, the Demon Lord took the chance and shot a bolt of red lightning at Diana, electrocuting her. Diana! Damien growled and stepped forward, but through her torture, Diana turned her head and glared hard at Damien, making him freeze in place.
Not your turn!
Despite being covered in red-tinted bolts of lightning, Diana began to force her energy again and formed a deep purple aura around herself, letting the Demon Lord's attack bounce around her new barrier. Yes, Demi. Very. With a breath, Diana let her energy pulse out, dissolving the Demon Lord's attack, and shot a burst of purple flames in retaliation. Her flames slammed themselves into the Demon Lord's chest, punting him back towards the pillar opposite of hers. Yo, we punted the motherfucker. We fucking punted him. And said that senpai I like. We played that. Oh! Do you mean the April Fool's game? You to write stuff. Oh wait, no, but senpai I like you so much. Yes, I remember. I asked you to write stuff with that info. Would you want to read? Post it. Put it in Marion Sen's server, and I'll give it a read another day. Because I'm taking a shower and I'm going to bed after this. But I'd love to read it. I could see the light in Diana's eyes flicker from blood red to gold as she locked eyes with the Demon Lord. Something began to burn beneath her murderous gaze, as if her simple stare was powerful enough to burn through the most courageous of hearts. Yes, Claudia. I forgot that's our ship name. It's Claudia. However, the smirk plastered on the Demon Lord's face made my body shiver at the sight. He was nowhere near fazed from Diana's glare. In fact, he seemed to find it amusing from the look in his eyes.
So, the Rebel Queen is protecting the mistake. How pathetic.
Okay, now I'm mad. Fuck you, sir. That is my husband. That is the love of my life. You can die in a fiery fucking pit in hell. I will custom build it for you. I would love to read it, I mean.
The only mistake that lives in this world is you.
Facts. Eat, queen, slay. The echo of the Demon Lord's laughter bounced through the halls with an unforgiving reverb, invading my ears and pounding against my mind. I could feel his dark energy pass through his voice and shake my soul. This wasn't a nightmare or a vision. The Demon Lord was right in front of me, and his presence was terrifying. Diana and the Demon Lord began to circle one another, with Diana moving to stand in front of us, while the Demon Lord positioned himself in front of his throne at the foot of the dais. Words. However, I could feel the anxiousness in Damien's arms as I held it to me, keeping him in place. He wanted to fight the Demon Lord, but Diana wasn't letting him, and it was bothering him to no end. There was a ship name for Damien X Kita. Do you think it would be Shadows? Oh! God. I like Shadowstar and Wait, Shadowstar is so cute. Shadowstar is so cute. I also like Kamian. Kamian is cute as well. Both are really fucking cute. Shadowstar I really like though. That's really cute.
Let me help.
I don't need help.
With that answer, Diana sprinted forward, summoning her wings and shooting herself like a bullet towards the Demon Lord. As she passed the midpoint of the room, Diana formed her saber in her hands and swung it at the Demon Lord. In her disgust, the Demon Lord parried with ease with his own sword, knocking her saber back and swinging to get a slice of her. The battle became a quick slam of dodges and parries from the Demon Lord and Diana, the sound of steel clanging violently in the air. Golden Star? Maybe. I mean, technically, he's also called the Star, if I'm going to be honest with you. It became a challenge keeping Damien near me. I could feel the anger and need for battle in his tense muscles, ushering me to squeeze it and pull him towards me cautiously. He obeyed, but who knew how long he would? What caused me to look away from Damien was the sound of Diana's crying out in pain. I watched as Diana's body flew across the room and slammed itself into the nearby wall, part of the balcony above it collapsing and crumbling on top of her. I could almost hear bones breaking from the rocks that had fallen on her. Diana, no! I could see Diana digging her way through the rubble, her hand crawling out of an opening in desperation to pull herself out. However, Damien took the chance to march towards Demon Lord, ready to take up the fight. Seeing his new opponent, the Demon Lord chuckled darkly and brandished his sword, pointing it at Damien in a taunt.
So, you've come to try and stop me? You're as foolish as I remember!
You know nothing about me.
I may not, but I remember all about your mother.
I'm gonna fucking kill this man. That sparked the flare in Damien's rage. Damien swiped his hand into his pocket and pulled out the gem Diana had given him. From the grip he had on it, I was surprised it didn't smash between his fingers. However, before Damien could step forward, a flash of purple zipped across the room and slammed into the Demon Lord's body, shoving him into a pillar and successfully destroying it with his body.
I'm
not done with you yet!
Diana, okay, I love you, girl, but take a fucking chill pill. The room began to slowly shape into the reflection of my nightmare. The rubble and the stone littering the ground, Diana floating in the air on her wings, but I could tell that her leg and at least a rib were broken, making her curl over herself from the pain. Diana kept glaring at the Demon Lord, however, gritting her teeth through the pain and forming her saber once again in her hand, as only a couple fingers of her and her thumb managed to wrap around the handle. I could tell that her hand was also injured.
You'll have to kill me first before I let you get away.
To see Diana continue to fight was remarkable, but I knew very well that she wasn't going to last long. One more avalanche of rubble on her would end her. The Demon Lord rose from the pile of stone that had fallen on him, grinning despite the blood rushing down his forehead.
Then let me finish the job!
With a crackle, the Demon Lord let his red energy pulse around him, making the rubble around him practically disintegrate before he lunged forward and slammed his body into hers, shooting them both towards the opposite end of the throne room. Diana and the Demon Lord returned to their clashing of steel as Damien only fummed at the bout. My instincts screamed at me to pull him back and calm him down, but was I in a place to stop him? Give me 5 seconds. I forgot to pull us up. I'm sorry. We're almost done. Oh, there it is. Damien. Okay, no. I've been lied to! Okay, where is it? The fuck? Where's my walkthrough? Bruh, I can't find shit! Why can't I find it? Okay, there we go. There's Eric's. Where the fuck is Damien? Okay, hold on. Let me just look up for Damien's. I think I know it, but... Okay, there we go. Found it. You'll scream either way, Mary. Let's be honest. Mary! Okay, we're gonna calm him down. I figured as much. I had to force Damien to accept Diana's handling the fight. If he interfered, then Diana might attack him as well, just from her adrenaline rush. I grabbed Damien's hand and pulled him back to me, needing to set him straight. As he looked to me, I could see the need for revenge burning in his eyes. I instinctively felt bad, but I knew better than to let him rampage. Come on. I insisted and pulled Damien back towards the entrance of the hall, giving Diana and the Demon Lord space to fight. Damien reluctantly followed, not allowing the anger in his eyes to die as he stared and pinned his gaze on the fight. The battle intensified as we settled back into our places. Diana seemed to match equally to her opponent as the fight waged violently between them. Red lightning and purple flames sparked between their weapons, lighting the room like fireworks. As Diana's saber flew out of her hands and clattered on the floor, she brought her arms up and, to my surprise, began to use her forearms to defend herself from the Demon Lord's blade. How it was possible, I never knew. I would never know. But, oh, hello. Mary, what the fuck? Oh my god, Mary! Mary! What the Mary! No! Why? What the fuck, Mary? Mary, what the fuck? What the hell? Thanks for the gifted subs. Thanks for the gifted subs. What the hell? Yo, thanks so much for the gifted subs. What the hell, Mary? How was it possible? I would not know. But his blade would merely cling against the purple taint on Diana's skin, like she was wearing some form of armor, or perhaps her demon markings protected her. Regardless, Diana defended herself as much as she could until she was met with a kick to the chest, sending her flying back into another pillar and breaking it apart with her body. Her body was completely covered by rubble, unmoving and unwavering from the hit. Diana! The Demon Lord finally looked to Damien, tongue darting out to lick his blade as his smirk grew. Oh my god, what the hell? Mary, what the fuck? Stop! Mary! Mary, stop! Mary! Mary, actually! What the fuck? Stop! Mary, what the hell? Mary, I swear, Mary, please. You have shipping to pay for a date with death. Please stop spending money on me. You have shit to pay for. Please. I beg of you. I love you and thank you, but please. Good. Fucking good. Jesus Christ, Mary. My God.
Your turn, mistake.
Fuck you. I fucking hate this man. How dare he talk to my baby like that? Damien snarled as he finally settled himself, ready to take on his father, not only for the world and for his mother, but for Diana as well. What? Mary's playing Kingdom Hearts? What? What? Mary's playing Kingdom Hearts? Oh my God, Prophet, where are you? Did you know Prophet? Okay, for reference, every time Mary plays Kingdom Hearts, it will give us like 10, 20 notifications every day, every time she's playing it, that she's playing Kingdom Hearts. So now we've made it a running joke being like, yo, Mary's playing Kingdom Hearts, did you know? And we'll be watching her playing Kingdom Hearts. It's grand. It's very grand. Damien's body pulsed and caused him to kneel over slightly from the burst of power in his chest. With a hiss, Damien growled as his body began to shift. His clothes slowly vanished and black markings began to crawl across Damien's skin. As Damien's horns reformed on his head, the air began to shift to one of extreme cold. Something about Damien began to pulse with a dark energy, one I had not seen from him even before he lost his powers. As Damien finally locked eyes with the Demon Lord, a flash of black washed over his gaze, sending a vibration of fear down my back.
Let's end this.
That's my man! Oh yeah! Oh hell the fuck yeah! That's hot. In a show of... Michaela, what was the meaning by this sentence? Because I'm confused. Oh, that's man! That's my baby! In a show of, I'm guessing, power. Seduce me to... In a show of Seduce Me to Power. The Demon Lord led up... Yes, I am. Shut up, Mary. I'm yours as well. I'm your whore. Damien... Oh... I love redeems. The Demon Lord let out a snarl and charged forward with his sword. Damien, however, summoned a large visible burst of energy, pushing the Demon Lord back. The Demon Lord fell back and tumbled back up onto his feet after skidding across the marble with a snarl. I had to cover my face with my hand to block the gust of wind that followed, almost feeling myself slide across the floor on my heels from the wave. Damien was billowing with energy, and it definitely showed. Wait, you gave me head pads? Wait, what? Where are my head pads? Is my head pad not working? I didn't see me get head pads. Oh well. Thank you for the head pads! With a look of cold thirst of murder in his eyes, Damien lifted his head and raised his arms to his side. In a similar fashion to the succubus before him, the black markings on Damien's back began to twist and turn, slowly pulling themselves off of his skin and forming a set of wings. Staring at them, they were surprisingly much larger than Diana's. They shuddered and flapped themselves through the air, pushing gusts of wind forward in a taunting gesture at the Demon Lord. Here, hold on. I don't know why it didn't work. That's weird. I will have to test it later. Oh, the cooldown. Well, too bad. Y'all abused that. As the Demon Lord began to stand, Damien brought his hand brought his hand in front of him and formed a large rod of black mist in his hands. It quickly solidified in his grip, and it began to gleam brightly as one end began to protrude and curve into the end of a scythe. I knew that the gem would intensify Damien's power, but just how much did it strengthen? Oh my god, what the fuck? Jesus Christ. Yeah, there's a reason the cooldown exists, and it's your own fucking fault. The Demon Lord measured Damien with his eyes, glaring hard and gripping his sword tighter in both anger and a dash of surprise.
How did you get this much power?
I don't answer to scum like you.
You say it, baby! With that reply, Damien swooped forward and swung his scythe back to reap through the Demon Lord like a Grim Reaper. Grim Reaper, you say? Despite the Demon Lord being able to parry the attack with his blade, the Demon Lord found himself skidding across the floor from the force of Damien's attack. Damien became relentless and continued to swing and slam his scythe blade into the Demon Lord's sword. The heavy slamming of steel beating on steel boomed through the room as Damien began to push the Demon Lord back towards his throne. Finally, the Demon Lord was knocked back onto his throne, stunned momentarily as Damien pulled his scythe back, ready to decapitate his enemy once and for all. Unfortunately, the blade met with the Demon Lord's sword at the last minute, making me grimace in aggravation. Grim Reaper tomorrow? Date with death tomorrow? I wanted this to end. I wanted the Demon Lord to fall already. This dance of death had gone on for long enough, and there was no reason for this battle to prolong itself any further. The Demon Lord was clinging to his last moments, and every part of me wished he would give up. Damien was more powerful than him. This fight would eventually be over. Damien pressed his body into his scythe, pushing against the Demon Lord.
Give up.
Trying to scare me, boy? Let me show you how it's done!
Distracted by the deadlock, Damien was suddenly kicked back through the air, sent tumbling in surprise as the Demon Lord rose back onto his feet and locked eyes with me. A wave of fear shot through me, and I was locked, frozen in place. I attempted to break free mentally, commanding every part of my body to move or do something to stop him, but no muscle in my body obeyed. Damien quickly tumbled back onto his feet, burning his gaze into the Demon Lord before looking back to me and seeing what he was doing to me.
Be glad, boy! I'm setting her free from the demon world!
With a sarcastic howl, a red bolt of lightning rammed itself into the ceiling, causing a large rock above me to shatter off the structure and plummet towards me.
Look out!
The boulder quickly impacted my back. It wasn't heavy enough to completely crush me against the marble, but I could tell that I had broken a rib or two. However, I felt a body pressed against me, barring the boulder from completely slamming me beneath it. I looked up to see a familiar face, wincing at the pain now embedded in her shoulder and arms. Diana? Despite being battered and bloodied, Diana gripped the boulder, pressing most of its weight off of me and taking it on herself, making sure my injuries were limited to just broken bones. Diana growled and pushed the boulder off us at last, releasing a powerful pained huff of air as she looked to me in concern.
Are you all right?
I could only nod, astonished at the turn of events. Diana was alive. How was that possible? Staring at her, I could tell she was near death's door, but she wasn't going to go down without the Demon Lord going down first. Her wings were pressed hard against her back, seemingly broken, but as she lifted me back up, a hum of purple energy rushed through Diana's body and forced her wings to flux out, snapping them into place once more.
This battle isn't over. Not by a long shot.
Damn! The pair of us looked over at the Demon Lord, seeing him emotionally seethe at the sight of us.
You just don't know when to die, do you?
You want to fucking talk? Diana smirked and stepped forward, holding her hand back towards me and forming a large purple barrier around me.
We've got unfinished business to take care of first. Right, Damien?
With the angered nod, Damien stood, gripping his scythe while Diana formed her saber in her hand, materializing a wrap around her hand and the handle to keep it in her grip.
It's over, you bastard.
Whoo! Using the word he was called against! Yes! Baring his teeth, the Demon Lord gripped his sword and stepped down from the dais to meet Damien and Diana halfway.
I will slaughter you both!
A violent shudder ran up my spine at his words before Damien and Diana vaulted forward, slamming their weapons into the Demon Lord's parrying sword. At the collision, a bright flash of red, purple, and black energy sparked and lit the room like a large firework. I moved to the edge of the barrier, trying to watch from the safety of the spell around me as Damien and Diana slowly began to beat down the Demon Lord's defenses, the spark between their clashing, blinding the Demon Lord. No amount of bravado could save the Demon Lord now. The room began to crumble just from the heavy sound waves and their fighting, causing rock upon rubble to fall onto the marble almost like hail. This time, Damien was nowhere near defenseless. Damien would escape with me and the Demon Lord would die here alone. I felt a confidence run through me at the idea. Damien could do this. Tired of the steel battle, Diana swooped around the Demon Lord and slashed at the back of his knees, forcing him to fall forward and drop his sword from the impact.
Enough! End this!
Without a breath of mercy, Damien raised his scythe back, taking aim at his target.
Goodbye, Father.
A flash of black energy swept the room as Damien swung his scythe down and through the neck of the Demon Lord. For a moment, nothing seemed to have occurred. It wasn't until a large open line appeared on the Demon Lord's neck and his eyes began to glaze over that I realized what had happened. In an angled cut, not perfect by any means, the Demon Lord's head slid off his shoulders and tumbled to the marble floor, rolling until it stopped on the edge of one of his horns. From his newly opened neck, black and red blood began to gush out and drain as the body fell forward. The sound of his body hitting the ground echoed through the chamber, solidifying the death of his father. The battle had been won at last. I could finally breathe. The realization of the entire event coursed through me like a wave as a weight lifted itself from my heart. The curse, I knew then, had been lifted at last. I was free to go home. I began drowning in feelings of joy and relief, happy that it was all over and overwhelmed by everything that had happened. As the scythe beside me faded alongside the barrier around me, Damien slowly turned to face me, hearing my slowly growing cries of joy. It was almost overwhelming. We won. We really won. Damien slowly started to walk towards me. His form fading from the demon he got the chance to be to the human he actually was. His clothes slowly materialized around his body, but the bruises and soot of the battle remained as a reminder of what had happened. Just looking into his eyes, I could see the satisfaction of his deeds blossom in his gaze. He stared at me, happy to see me, and I finally and I felt myself grin from ear to ear at him. I wasn't being pulled away from him, nor was he dead. Damien and I were together, and we were okay. Damien finally stopped in front of me and wrapped his arms around me, letting everything sink in within my embrace as I buried my face in his shoulder. I was tired of seeing the death around me now. All I wanted was to go home. You did it, Damien.
Yeah. We can go home now.
I looked up at him, feeling the ache of the lost adrenaline in my system course through me. As I clung to him, the war for us was over. At last. Diana, however, collapsed onto the ground on the dais of the throne, panting for air as she stared at the pair of us in exhaustion. Before she could finish her sentence, Diana's eyes rolled into the back of her head as she completely passed out onto the ground. In a panic rushed, I thrust my hand out towards her. Seto! A flash of light, Seto's form materialized and looked around, surprised at the summoning. As his eyes landed on the passed-out Diana, he slammed down onto his knees and cradled her in his arms. Relieved to see her breathing, he hugged her to his chest, giving her his energy. I clung to Damien, now mentally wiped. Who knew the end of a battle was so exhausting? I had fought with Lisette once before, but it was nowhere near as intense as this fight was. Not by a long shot. Damien and I looked at each other, both of us feeling the lack of energy from the battle attempt to consume our bodies, before leaning into one another for a well-deserved rest. One thing was for certain. This chapter of my story had come to an end. It was over. The war was finally over. As the smoke cleared, we were victorious. The soldiers left standing were the ones to cheer in victory. The sky became littered with the howls and cries of the joyful and happy. The tyranny of the demon lord had ended. But what now? Home was now possible. We could go back to the human world and we could live our lives as we wanted. It was something I desperately wanted, and yet my body was not ready to make the journey just yet. We had to celebrate the success of the war, after all. As the moon rose over Lilith Castle towards the dawn, the entirety of the demon world celebrated with endless drinks and food, laughter and dancing. It was so unreal, but the courtyard that I could see was filled with smiles and happy faces. We had stayed for one more night, traveling back to Lilith Castle to rest and return home as healthy as we could be. After all, we had just gone through a war. One more night in the demon world wasn't going to hurt us. While the majority of the rebellion danced in the courtyard, I remained with the incubi and the rebel leaders, who were all in the royal hall having their own celebration. Drinks were shared and battle stories were exchanged, making some laugh and others roll their eyes. I felt myself intrigued at the stories Sergeant told about the front lines. As I looked to Diana, however, she simply kept quiet with a small smile on her face. She looked at the incubi and the rebel leaders in silence before walking away from the little party we had. As if she knew I was staring at her, Diana looked over at me and slightly gestured with her hand to follow her. I followed, curious to where she was going. I made sure to remain quiet as I separated from the rest of the group and followed her out of the room into the hall. The entire journey Diana didn't speak a word. Even Seto didn't follow her, most likely being told that she wanted to speak with me alone. Diana led me through the castle, up a couple of sets of stairs, into what looked like to be a royal bedroom with a balcony. Was this a guest room? It was untouched, and I could smell the very faint scent of dust. Why did she bring me here? Diana stepped into the room, using her magic to ignite the candelabras and air out the room by opening the balcony window. Before I could ask, however, Diana finally spoke up.
I have to thank you, dear.
For what?
For aiding us in this war. We've been fighting the Demon Lord for so long. We thought the war would never end. As terrible as the circumstance was, if you hadn't been summoned here, we probably would have still been fighting now.
Diana walked to the balcony and leaned against the railing, staring into the dark night sky. The light from the room illuminated her form as she gazed at the stars. Despite the situation around us, the air seemed calm, with a faint echo of the celebrations whispering through the night. I walked over and stood beside her, leaning against the balcony, and looked at Diana as she smiled and let out a chuckle.
To be very honest, I didn't expect to ever see you again. After I took your energy that night, I vowed to never deal with humans again. No clairvoyance could have told me about you coming into play in this war.
There you go. I wasn't exactly counting on coming here. It was good to see you again, though. Diana stared wide-eyed at me, a small form of a blush on her cheeks. What? It's true. I was able to see another side of her, one that wasn't cruel or ruthless towards me. I guessed it was the real her, and I was happy to find out that she wasn't a terrible person after all. When you were in the human world, I never imagined you to be a nice person. You did everything you could to mess with me and try to get the boy, I don't know what that word is, and try to get the boys to return. Since I came, I know who you really are. You have a good heart, Diana. And I'm glad to know that now. Diana stared a while before smiling softly, her eyes slightly glossing over in a sense of appreciation. She almost looked like a little girl for half a second, her face so full of innocence.
And you do as well, my friend.
Diana turned her body to me and held her hand out towards me. I smiled back and took her hand, gently shaking it before pulling her to me, surprising her. I wanted to hug her, so I did. I wrapped my arms around her body and felt her very slowly relax into my embrace. With a small breath and what I assumed to be a purr, Diana wrapped her arms around me and hugged me back. Never would I have imagined embracing Diana and seeing her not as an enemy, but as a friend. It was mind-boggling, but I was glad to know the real Diana now. Diana and I pulled away from each other and smiled before she stepped back to her original spot.
Oh, I had almost forgotten.
I tilted my head at her. What was she talking about? Diana lifted one of her hands towards the sky and waved her hand through the air, making a soft purple mist glow around her fingers. Within seconds, the mist morphed and formed itself into a lavender-colored lily. Resting peacefully between Diana's fingers, she brought it down and presented it to me with a kind gaze.
A gift, my dear.
a gift? I slowly took the flower out of Diana's hands and inspected it visually. It was light, but I could feel a soft glow of magic emanating from the stem and petals. The bloom reminded me of a human world lily, but something about it seemed otherworldly.
A flower known only to demons of Lilith. We call it the Flower of Lilith, because these flowers were said to have been created when Lilith first appeared in the abyssal plains.
I stared at Diana, not understanding why she was giving me such a gift. She chuckled at my confusion and leaned against the railing, continuing her explanation.
It is also a flower we succubi use when we marry.
Oh. Use? What do you mean? Diana chuckled again before she gently took the flower from my hands and tucked it behind my ear. As it settled against my ear, I felt mist circle my head and form into a flower crown of lavender lilies. The way Diana looked at me made me feel like I was in my bridal wear again. Already.
A human you may be, but Lilith would have been proud to see you marrying one of her own. These flowers represent her blessing, and may only crown the worthy.
So fucking cute. I felt a blush run across my cheeks. This was a blessing? I slowly reached up and ran my fingers along the flower crown adorning my head, feeling the soft petals against my fingertips. They were almost pulsing with energy. I felt both flustered and honored with that simple flower. That a simple flower felt I was worthy enough to crown my head. Diana let out a sigh and looked back to the sky, making me do the same. One would have expected the sky to be full of smoke or smell of war's aftermath. But the sky was clear and fresh, dry, and fresh air drifted through my nose as I inhaled. It was indeed another world, and tonight was my last night in it.
Well, you did it! Congratulations! You've made it to the end of your story. I have to say, I am very surprised at how it turned out.
Mika does keep the magic. Mika is a witch, so Mika keeps magic.
Nevertheless, I'm glad things worked out in the end, whether it was for the better or otherwise.
Yeah, one of the reasons I chose Shadow specifically is, for those of you who didn't know, Damien is half Shadow Demon. His mother was a Shadow Demon, like Shadow. And I don't know, I felt like it was right to use the kind of magic that's the most similar to the incubus I'm with. Minus Sam. Sam is the only exception to that rule. I know who I'm picking for Sam. Kind of. Even though I want to pick someone else, I'm not going to. But yeah, y'all will see. Y'all will see.
Despite everything Damien went through, it was all worth it to obtain his humanity and to be truly happy. Don't you think?
Yes, I love him.
He got his revenge for his mother, and both of you saved the demon world. I definitely would put that down as successes.
Ba-bing!
Anyways, you've been through a lot, so why don't we skip to...
Now.
Huh? You want to know what happened after the war? Well, I mean, I guess I could tell you. After the war was finished, the entire rebellion celebrated. Word spread far and wide about the rebellion's success, and soon every kingdom in the abyssal plains had become united with the new authority. You would think demons would be more hostile towards each other, being demons and all, but the threat of the demon lord was what brought the entire world together.
Yay!
The entire world united under one banner, the Lilith crest. Diana became the sovereign of the entire plane, accepted and loved by practically everyone because of her devotion to the world and her bravery in the war. Sero, as devoted as ever, remained by her side as her loyal bodyguard. Diana became one of the most beloved rulers in all of Demon World history. Her natural heart of gold led her to lead the world to a prosperous future, one filled with peace and happiness.
Yeah.
The other rebel leaders supported her, eventually changing the caste system of the world and slowly working their way towards a plane as equal and peaceful as it could be. Diana had her suspicions, of course, as any monarch would, but if they had any sort of bad thoughts about her before, they certainly didn't during the recreation of the world.
Oh, they better not have.
And I believe that is everything that happened after, well, except for your story anyway. Damien and you, both completely human now, return home and set up once more for your wedding. Take 2.
Let's go!
Huh? How do I know? Well, I have my ways. Maybe you should check it out.
Yeah. Last little bit. Strap in, chat. It took a while to get everything back in order, but with the help of Damien's brothers and their wives, we were able to finally have the wedding Damien and I dreamed of. Everything was organized to the T, and it was indeed perfect. The revels of the celebration and the reception still shook through me, even through the honeymoon. It was so unreal. I was married to the love of my life, and we were about to live our lives together forever. I could go on and on about the wedding and the honeymoon, but honestly, after the war, I was more concerned of living my life afterwards. Our lives escalated to new heights after we officially became husband and wife. Damien finally settled on what he wanted to do, dedicating himself to writing small stories for children. Reading to him became a passion, drawing him towards teaching children to learn before they had gotten older. It was beautiful, to say the least. As for me, I began to go through my own success in life, dedicating myself to becoming exactly what I wanted to be. After all, Damien was dedicated to his work and goal. If I put the same amount of work in as I did in the demon world, then I was going to be okay. However, there was never a day that went by that I didn't think about what was happening in the Abyssal Plains. It was a heavy chapter of my life, one that tested the love between me and Damien. While the struggle was rough, Damien was finally able to realize his dream of being a human. Even more so, he was able to take down his father and gain revenge not only for his mother, but for what the Demon Lord had done to him as a child. I was so proud of him, and I was even more proud to call him mine. His change affected us both, and who knew what the future had in store now? Still, I was confident that we would get through it and stay together no matter what came our way. Demon, devil, whatever. It didn't matter to us. We were unstoppable together. A moment to myself was all it took to remember everything that went on during my time in the Abyssal Plains. It was a heavy part of my life and a chapter I would never forget for as long as I lived. I sat in bed, waiting for Damien to return from his visit to the Anderson Toys Company. He wanted to pitch his next book idea to his brothers and hopefully get some funding for it, for art and publishing, but I had high hopes for it regardless. It was boring, however, just waiting. I let out a sigh and slid off the bed, standing and stretching. What to do? I began to let my feet guide me through the house, wanting something to take my attention. As I let my mind wander, I couldn't help but remember the secret of alcove the house had, where Damien confessed his love for me. I wonder, was it still there? I walked through my memory and trying to find the secret passage once again. With my luck, I managed to find it and walk through it, leaving the passageway open for Damien to find me later in case I stuck around the spring for long. I walked through the dark passage and eventually entered the magical space my grandfather had created for the mansion, hiding a beautiful hot spring. The steam was just as heavy as it was when I was last in the space, making me smile and let out a relaxing sigh. A moment in the spring was well worth everything I had gone through. I stripped down and slowly erased myself into the spring, feeling the water slowly drain my aches and stress away the lower I slid myself. As I finally sat down, another sigh couldn't stop itself from escaping me, taking in the fresh air and slight hint of a flower emanating in the air. Hint of flowers emanating in the air. My thoughts simply melted away, letting me simply sit back against the edge of the spring and indulge in the warmth around my body. The only thing that would have made the experience perfect was Damien beside me to cuddle against. Shush! As if they answered my selfish prayers, my thoughts were broken by the sound of slowly approaching footsteps, making me look over with a smile as I spotted familiar purple and blue eyes.
Hey, enjoying the spring?
Damien slowly began to walk towards me, stripping out of his clothes to join me as I smiled and nodded, laying back against the edge of the spring lazily. The water is so good. You're missing out. Damien chuckled before joining me, sitting beside me and wrapping his arms around me. I giggled in return, nuzzling his shoulder and chest. The water may have been warm, but feeling Damien against me made me feel just right. Damien nuzzled my head with his and kissed over my shoulder gently. How was the meeting with James?
It went good. I got the funding.
I pulled away, suddenly excited for Damien. He grinned at me, nodding and affirming his words with a happy expression. That's awesome! Congratulations! Damien laughed and gently kissed me before pulling me into a hug, wrapping his arms fully around me and holding me close. I cuddled into his embrace, waves of joy practically emanating from us. This was the start of Damien's future, and I would be standing beside him, eager to see him grow and become the successful person he wanted to be. Damien softly kissed my cheek and let out a sigh, relaxing his embrace, but not letting me go.
You are such an inspiration to me.
Damien.
It's true. You've supported me and been with me ever since we met. You did everything to protect me and give me everything I could have ever wanted.
Damien slightly pulled away and stared into my eyes, his own full of love and passion that glimmered in the light of the magically made moon above us.
How did I ever come to deserve you?
You never needed to deserve me. I smiled sweetly and cupped Damien's cheek, feeling him nuzzle into my palm as I kissed his cheek softly. I knew very well that our relationship came from us deserving each other. I loved him and he loved me. It was all that mattered in the end. I should be asking the same thing. But I know that we perfectly deserve each other. I felt like I was in some sort of blissful dream, staring into Damien's eyes as he became lost in mine. I love you, Damien.
I love you too.
I couldn't stop my smile from growing before leaning in and kissing Damien lovingly, feeling him kiss back with the same amount of love and passion I had. Our lives would lead us to a blissful future, one full of adventure, joy, and endless waves of affection for one another. He obtained his dream, and I had attained mine. And that was my perfect, happily ever after. Yo, let's go! That's the end of Damien's route! Oh, fudge! Cheers, mate! That was so fucking cute! God, I love Damien. We finally got through it. Oh. My heart feels so warm. I'm so happy. Okay, as much as I would love to sit here and listen to this, your bitch is tired, so it's time to say goodbye. Oh gosh. Alright, I'm gonna turn that down a little bit more. Actually, no, this is fine. Hold on. Actually, no, we are gonna turn that down a little bit more. Alrighty. Alright, chat. Well, That was incredibly adorable. But your girl needs sleep, and y'all have me tomorrow for some date with death. So don't worry, I'll be here tomorrow. Y'all will see me tomorrow. Where's the music? Hello? We're not ending on that! Oh, silent Damien, that's perfect. All right, little stars, thank you all so much for joining. I'll say thank you. Aw, love you, darling. Love you, lovely. Mwah, mwah. All right, kisses, boogies. With that, little stars, that is all I have for you this evening. So I shall see you all another night. Until then, keep shining.